Officials say that the U.S. could have similar problems with its power grid if solar winds strike major...
Subscribe to Reverse Candy. Hey, what is up you guys? It is Reverse and welcome back to another episode of Boom Beach, and today I'm back again with the Boom Beach base review, and this is a series that I'm doing in which I'm going to be analyzing your bases and then checking them out and hopefully give you guys some pointers that are going to be helping you out with your bases. So I actually found a few bases that were interesting to show you guys today, and if you want to be getting your base featured or have a chance of getting your base featured, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section down below using the template that I've also set up down there. So all you need to do is just copy that and fill in your own information, and it's really random. I just like go through what I'm seeing and then I randomly select one and see what I find down there, and then I'm gonna be making an episode like this, pretty much like this. So I know I haven't really been doing an episode like this in a while, but I'm going to go back to them. I know I said that last time, but I was still busy with my own base, so I didn't really feel very comfortable doing an episode like this, because I was like, you know, my own base is kind of like a mess right now, and I do feel more confident about this base, so it would be more convincing if I have a pretty solid base myself. So how about we jump straight into this? Today we actually got a 3 bases to cover. So the first one is Q, and then 9, and then J, and then Q, and we get to the expendables. And the base I want to be featuring is of Legend, a level 37 guy. His experience level is 37. He has 243 medals. So let's actually see what we're finding here. So this base over here. He's good on medals. When it comes down to medals, he's about average, so that's nothing too fancy or nothing too bad about that. Using a corner base, as you guys can see. Now, the purpose of a corner base is generally to defend against the smoky warriors. So that's why you kind of have the flamethrowers near the HQ and a machine gun next to it as well. So that way, you know, you're attacking the warriors. Now, if you want to be really utilizing a corner base, what you gotta be doing, and that is a must, is to place the HQ a little bit more to the left, so that way a flamethrower fits in between. Because if you have a flamethrower down there, what is happening is you cannot really smoke the flamethrower, you cannot really drop a shock bomb onto the flamethrower, making it impossible to kind of like destroy that, because the warriors will be getting shocked as well. So that is my first tip to you: place your HQ a little bit more to the left, so that way you can actually fit a flamethrower in between. Another thing that I noticed was that this rocket launcher, it is a little bit out of position. That might be a good thing, but I would place it a little bit more into the center, maybe like on the location where this sniper tower is, to make it a little bit harder for the opponent. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I feel more comfortable with. Even though that the rocket launcher usually is the first target to take out, I still kind of feel that if you have a rocket launcher a little bit more in the center, I feel a little bit more secured about that, but that is up to your own discretion. Another thing that I noticed is, if you want more area control for your defenses, I would consider, and that is once again up to your own discretion, to swap these two cannons with these two boom cannons as well, because boom cannons have a larger range, and that might be nicer. Because this boom cannon isn't really defending the right side where the HQ is, and you definitely want to have something like that. You already got two boom cannons like covering that area over there, so 2 boom cannons down there, I don't think it would be hurting. Another thing I really noticed on this base is the mine placement. That is another factor into the corner base. What you want to be doing is making sure that the warriors need to take a different path that is harder to conquer or harder to get to. So you want to be placing your mines inside your base, because if you have all of your mines at one side, I personally don't really I don't have to be worrying that much about the mines over there. So you know, that is a thing as well. I would seriously consider like placing your mines actually in the base, where it makes it pretty hard for the warriors to get near the base in general. And then I also see these defenses in the front in here. I mean, it can be a good thing, but I don't think it's very effective, because if you drop 2 shock bombs, everything is just shocked and you can just take it out just like that, picking up 18 energy, and I believe that's like getting your energy back just like that. And on top of that, you only got a single mortar here. I mean, you do got a boom cannon, but you're already able to take out these defensive buildings over here. I mean, this is not really a defensive building, but these buildings do have a lot of health, so you might want to really be considering doing something with that, because I kind of feel it's like a waste in a sense as well. So you know, I would seriously, if I see this base in the way it is right now, I would have so much fun attacking with only riflemen, because I would just be able to pulverize the entirety of the base and still have some riflemen left. So that is my tip to you. If you want to be going with a corner base, just place the headquarters a little bit more to the left, and just make sure you kind of like bring all of these defenses into play, because it's kind of a waste in general. So that is the first base of Legend. I hope my tips help you out. Let's move on to the next base, which is from Brandon. And Brandon is a little bit higher level than I am, so I'm really curious to see how this one's gonna be going. But I actually do have a few pointers here which I feel are gonna be helping out your base, because I thought that your base was actually pretty nice. So we're going to boom not included. I'm gonna be searching for Brandon over here, level 46 with 567 medals over here. He's definitely higher level than I am. I believe that its HQ was actually level 17, as you guys can see. You got the shock launcher over here, level 4. That's actually really badass. And the headquarters over here with a lot of health, level 18. So he's been doing pretty nice job there. So in this base, I'm gonna be talking about a few minor points here, because the base as it is, as you guys can see, is pretty solid, and it's probably better than my own defense. So I'm gonna be talking about the boom mines first. So as you guys can see, boom mines all the way in the front here, which is okay, but I feel that they're relatively out of play. I would seriously like consider getting your boom mines a little bit more into play. It's okay to have them at the same direction, but I would like place them behind or in between the not behind, but in between the masterpieces or the statues that you're having. I kind of feel that that way your boom mines will be more utilized into this base. But this might be nice as well. It kind of scares people away, so it can have 2 effects. But you might want to try around and playing with that to see how it's going to be working for you. Another thing I really pointed out, and I think this is definitely something to take into consideration over here, Brandon, and that is your sawmill and your iron mill over here, your iron mine over here. So you got a sawmill at the left side, which is a beast of a defense. Look at the health, and then you have got an iron mine over here. I would personally swap either the quarry with the sawmill to kind of like maximize the defense in the middle, because an additional hit can mean life or death in Boom Beach. So that's something you want to be taking into consideration. Or swap the quarry with the iron mine, because with a symmetrical base, you kind of want to make sure that both sides have equal amount of health and equal amount of defense. And you know, it's just the balance should be like very nice when it comes down to a symmetrical base. Otherwise, people are gonna strictly focus onto one side, and we all know that the sawmill usually has more health than the quarry and the iron mine. So that's definitely something to take into consideration. Another thing that I saw was this radar, and that's kind of following up to my other point that I just made. A symmetrical base should stay symmetrical, because otherwise people are just going to be focusing on one point. And you know, what is the purpose of a symmetrical base if people are just going to be focusing onto one point? So that is another thing I want to say. Another thing that I just realized is the fact that your stone storage almost has as much health as your sawmill. And I would personally like consider putting those stone storages into play as well. I mean, your wooden storages aren't having as much health left, but the stone storage is already maxed out for yourself. So you might want to be trying incorporating that into your base. I have no idea how the effect of that is going to be, but it all comes down to balance once again. Then another point that I saw, and I do like your sniper tower placement, I really do, but it might be able to improve a little bit. But I'm not sure if that's really going to be working out, so you might want to be trying to experiment with this. What you could potentially do is place this sniper tower, the outer sniper towers over at the left and the right side, a little bit more into the middle. And if you do that, basically place them in between the shock launcher and your iron mine or your sawmill. And then what you can do is place the middle sniper tower a little bit more to the right side to kind of cover the same area. But that way your middle part will be even more defended than it already is. So that is an option that you could do. And also another thing that I thought would be really fun, like as in a troll base, is to place this shock launcher behind the position where this wooden storage is, because for one thing, it is not visible, so you'll be having a lot of fun just trolling people around with that. You can also place a rocket launcher like that as well, and you can also try to make your rocket launcher a bit more centered if you actually do intend on doing that. So those are my tips to you, Brandon. I hope they help out. Actually had some time figuring out how I was going to be approaching your base, but I feel your base is already pretty solid. I don't think you need a lot of tips from my side, because I think you're pretty well aware of the fact that your base is totally anti-warrior over here. I mean, look at these flamethrowers over there. You might want to be swapping a machine gun with a flamethrower just like that, but in general I feel that your base is going to be holding up pretty well on its own. That being said, let's move on to the last base of today. And I actually took some time analyzing this base as well, because I wasn't sure how I was going to be doing this base, but I saw a few flaws here and there that I want to share with you guys. So we're gonna go to Apocalypse, and we're gonna be going to the base of EA Games, also known as Eric, who is using the comment section actually quite a lot. So it just happened by chance that I came to this base, and I actually want to take some time here to check out this base and see what I'm finding down here. So once again, we're talking about a corner base, so the same tip comes to you. Make sure you place this headquarters a little bit more to the left and place a flamethrower next to it, so that way you can counter the anti-warrior a little bit better. One of the problems that I'm seeing in this base is the mine placement as well. What I'm seeing over here is that you're trying to protect the right side pretty badly, but the fact of the matter is, you know, if you're talking about distance, if you're gonna be going with a base like this, the distance is going to be the same if you attack from the right side or the middle, but the only difference will be that if you attack from the middle, because you're trying to avoid all of these mines, that you potentially need one smoke and one flare on top of what you're already having, and mostly people around this area do already have that, so you might want to be considering placing those mines a little bit more in the center. But if this works for you against warriors, then by all means keep on using this. Another thing that I really want to be pointing out is range, because range is very important. I mean, this boom cannon over here, placement is really well because it's very nicely protecting the HQ, but I feel it can be utilized a little bit better. So I would suggest placing your boom cannon into play a little bit more. You might want to be swapping it out with the let me see, with either the residence over here or this machine gun. Actually, as a matter of fact, do it with this machine gun, because if you swap it with this machine gun, it would mean that your HQ would be getting an additional great building against the warriors, and you'd be getting more area control with this boom cannon as well. So that is another thing. Also, a fact of the matter is, you kind of want to make sure that your front looks a little bit threatening, so that's why I would also try to place this boom cannon a little bit more in the front there, so that way people are gonna be like, oh, this base actually, you need to take that into consideration. Another point I want to make, and this can go two ways really, is the rocket launcher. Because I would say personally, I would say bring it a little bit closer to like the center of your base. I would potentially like exchange it with this wooden storage, or maybe even this residence behind it, or over there. Just make sure that, you know, it doesn't connect with any other buildings, which you already are doing right now, which is pretty nice. But this location might also be very good, because people might be like, you know, this rocket launcher doesn't have enough range over here, and then suddenly it starts firing away. So it can go two ways, but personally I would go using the rocket launcher, bring it a little bit more into the center, so that way, you know, it is just kind of covering more area over there, and that way protecting a little bit better. Another thing that I do really like about this base, and that is the last thing I'm going to be mentioning, is the placement of these mortars, because it's actually pretty centralized down there. What I personally really find annoying with mortars, and you might want to be doing something with this, is whenever I'm using heavy Zuka, and that was especially around your level. When I was using heavy Zuka, sometimes the mortars would hit the Zukas because I thought I'd be safe from them. So what you want to maybe be doing with this little mortar over there is placing it a little bit more to the left right side, to the left middle side, so that way, you know, it actually picks up maybe a Zuka or two if you're getting attacked by heavy Zuka, because heavy Zuka is extremely popular, especially around your metal area. You already see it, you're using it yourself, so I'm pretty sure that you know what I'm talking about in this case. But I hope my tips help you out. In general, I'm not really sure if I find this base secure enough. But it looks pretty fine to me. I mean, this boom mine over here, by the way, is pretty necessary. Like, you should definitely place that one in your base just like that. People are not gonna go over this boom mine. You might want to be placing it behind this tree, as a matter of fact, if you think they're gonna be going for these buildings. But this isn't really a wasted boom mine over there. At least that's what I feel like. So yes, that is pretty much the bases that I wanted to be covering with you guys today. I hope it helped you guys out as well, and make sure to leave your bases in the comment section down below, so that way I might be able to feature those as well. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure how you guys are feeling about these Boom Beach base reviews. I might be saying stuff that doesn't make a lot of sense. Give me feedback as well in the comment section down below, so that way I actually know how you guys think about it as well. And yeah, if I'm making a mistake, I'll make sure to correct myself in the episode after that. So for now, I'm going to be wrapping this Boom Beach base review off here. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, make sure that if you guys like this video, to boom, give it a thumbs up. And that being said, this has been Reversal for Boom Beach. I'm going to be signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.